Hello everyone, Bean from the bedroom here. I don't know if I am getting this in completely, but new pedal day. I'm going to explain why I have that with my Demon FX, both on the board at the same time and together. Stay tuned. All right, I hope this will come through on the video. I look for that multi-tone. So what I mean by that is that this is the clean on my amp. All right. The reverb, I think it's like around 4-ish. That's it. I forget what the other settings are, but normally I have like bass is 8, the treble is 6, and the middle is in the middle. And I want different tones on a clean channel, and I also want either a soft, distorted like Larry Carlton overdrive, and then I want that like 70s overdrive from the classic rock. Not too much the 80s, kind of thing. So it also varies with the guitars that I have because they have various pickups. So I grabbed this one because this is my Alex, I think it is, Lifeson signature Les Paul by Epiphone. And the pickups that are in here, probably out of all the Epiphones that I've had, and I've shown a lot on my videos, and compared to my USA Gibsons, on this particular model, it's a bit muddy, almost like the pedals on the Gems. Too muddy. I don't like them like that. I like them bright and punchy. So this one is as quiet and as muddy as I can get. So when I'm playing it and I want a channel clean, and I just want, like this is my boost from my Demon FX. Right? Turn that off. Turn on the one next to it, which is Overdrive. A little bit warmer, a little bit thicker, stacked with the both. See how it kind of, again, it kind of makes it like that 70s drive. This is the new one, the Orange Burst by Caline. I can't, it doesn't say the name on the pedal. I have to read it to pronounce it correctly. And this is this pedal. So, going back to the Demon FX, warmer, the boost, a little bit brighter. So with that in mind, I have 3 different tones. Now, the video that when I started with the pedal, since then, I don't remember what the knobs were, but basically on the Orange Burst, the gain is turned down to probably, I'd say about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I say 8 o'clock. And the volume is between 9 and 10. The bass and the treble are 9 o'clock. And that's the sounds that I have. Now, if I take the overdrive and stack it with the boost, stack it with the burst. This is without the drive. Add the boost, the dirty boost. It picks it up. Turn that off. Turn on the drive. See? It's a lot warmer. Put the boost on with it. That's 3 pedals well, 2 in 1, but that's 3 settings: dirty boost, drive from the Andy Timmons Demon FX clone, along with the orange burst. That alone is a good sound. Now, again, I could turn up the gain and really punch it out a lot more. So, together, they all work. They're all compatible. I turn on the gain on my amp, which, by the way, the gain is only set at 2 for the drive. Hear how quiet it is? Hands are off the guitar. Super quiet. I put on the dirty boost. And it brightens up the pickups a little bit. Turn on the drive, which I use like all the time. And to me, it just sounds a little muddy. So, if I have them both on, sounds a little bit better, but it's still not bringing these pickups to life, to live. Bringing them alive. Alive to life? Now, I put on the orange burst. You hear it? You can barely hear it's on, which I love with all the other ones. Again, if I turn the gain up, you're going to hear it a lot more on the drive channel. The Demon FX, you don't hear anything. That's how quiet it is. That's the one thing with the Caline pedals. I also found with Joy, I can't think of it right now. But this pedal with another brand, when you have them on with other pedals, sometimes they're not compatible. With the Caline, when you have it on with the dirty channel to stack it or boost it, it gets a little noisy. But I still get the tones that I want out of it, which is... So there it is. There's my 70s sound right there. So it's good, you know, it's perfect, and it's not too over the top, and it's quiet. I turn that off, turn on the drive, and there's my softer Caline sound. Stack it with the boost, and it brings it to life. Turn off the orange burst, keep on calling it boost, and it warms it up, it brings it, tones it back down again. So for that reason, I wanted the orange burst to bring guitars like this one with these Pro Buckers or forget what they are in here, standard pickups, to life. Because when I'm playing it with other, you know, with my backing tracks, it's too muddy, it's too low. It doesn't like cut through the mix. Unless I stack it with the boost, the dirty boost. But that orange burst really, even by itself, it sounds good. I'll turn up the gain just so you can hear it. That's at, I have to look at the clock. That's at 1 o'clock. This is all the way. This is the gain max. But again, I've got the boost and the treble at 9 o'clock. So I don't, that's just the tone that I'm adding to the pedal to make it have its own voice compared to whatever the other ones are. If I put the treble and the bass up at 12, it gets a lot louder. bring them at like 1 o'clock. See, and it's really like screaming. Bring the bass back down. I mean the treble. And yeah, I don't like it. It kind of, it's too much. So again, I put them at 9 o'clock. And there's the sound. There's, you know, that brings this particular guitar to life, where I don't have to worry about swapping out the pickups. So I go to a middle one. I should have tried to reach my my Chauvel. This is the Dro Satriani 1200 series factory pickups. Now again, this one, these pickups by themselves, that's just a drive on the amp. I hit it with the dirty boost. Too much tone. Hit it with the drive. Little warm, little muddy. Add the boost with the drive. Brings it to life, but again, it's not like that happy medium. It does, they do have to be on together for me to like the sound. This is the orange burst. And it's perfect. It's great. So that's, again, now let me just go with the neck. Dirty drive. That's the dirty boost, I mean, and it makes it sound like a, you know, a single coil, a hot single coil pickup, when it's actually a humbucker. Here's the drive on the Andy Timber. Warm, little muddy, again with the orange burst. It brings it up just to that it brings it to an 11. It brings it up to that, where it actually sounds like a neck humbucking pickup. So it really brings this guitar to life. Again, multiple tones is what I like to get. I keep the drive on the amp at one setting, but I like pedals to change things around. If I grab my Chauvel, I don't have the other one out. The other one has different warmer sounding pickups in it, but this one here, that's just right through the amp. Dirty boost. Sounds good with the drive. That's the, you know, the tone I prefer. I stack it with the dirty boost. Again, too bright. Turn that pedal off, put on the orange burst. And there's my happy place. So, last but not least, and the reason why I'm going through this with the pedal is, you know, I have friends of mine that are professional musicians, which you guys know I've dropped names in the past. So, you know, I do get questioned from guys that are pros. They ask me my advice about their pedal board or their sound or stacking this and that and the whole bit. And these guys are pros, they're professionals. And they're still asking little old me questions. So, this is why I'm posting this. This is the Washburn with the Bill Lawrence, what is it, L500. These humbucking pickups sound like two hot wound single coils side by side. That's how bright this pickup is. That sounds like a hot, almost like a single coil humbucking stacked pickup. Very bright, very loud. So with this particular guitar, I always have the Demon FX Andy Timmons clone drive on to warm it up. Without it, nothing. With it, clicker, it gives me the sound I want, and it brings down the high tone from this pickup, because I don't have a treble, you know, I don't have I can't bring down the treble on it, the tone, couldn't find the word, to bass it up a little bit. So that's always there. If I want a bit of a boost, I'm gonna start it and then I'll click on, I'll give you a nod when I click on the dirty boost with the drive. See, so in the middle of a solo when I want more, and I just want that note to ring out or get some feedback, I can stack it. It sounds great. Now, putting on the orange burst and turning off the Demon FX. And there's my 70s drive. You could even hear it on the strings, how, you know, when I'm choking up on it. Again, with it off, and I just put the Andy Timmons on. It's warm. It's like I have a tone knob, and I just turn the tone knob down, which is how I like it. The pickup is way too bright for me, for that. But there you have it. You know, that's why I have the pedal board, and I had to rearrange some stuff when I got the pedal yesterday, and I had to make sure that when I plugged it in, it was compatible with the other pedals, and I had to find the right place for it. Then I had to make sure it wasn't too noisy when I had the drive actually on. So again, this is off, this is on, off, on. I turn on the Demon FX, it's even quieter. That's the drive, that's the dirty boost. Again, you know, I always brag about the Demon FX Andy Timmons clone. I like it so much I did buy it, you know, I said it a long time ago. I bought a second pedal, brand new in the box. When I got it, I just plugged it in, made sure it worked, put it back in the box in case something ever happens to this pedal. But I've had pedals sometimes that I bought since 1982 that I didn't sell until 2012. I started selling off my old vintage pedals, and I never had a warranty on them. They always kept on going. It's funny, the Ibanez Paul Gilbert airplane flanger is the only one that I have to actually, I have to use the toggle spray for the push button. Because when I would turn it on, engage it, or turn it off, the volume would drop. And then when I turn it off, the volume is dropped on my guitar, where instead of sounding like, when I turn it off, it's like, then I would have to click it on and click it back off again to get it back up. So only the on and off switch on this one pedal in my entire lifetime. Every once in a while, because I had to do it again, I took it out. I took my pedal board out for a gig, and I sprayed that one switch on the left that actually turns it on and off with the same spray I use in my three-way toggles, so that when I turn it on and off, it's actually, you know, going on completely and going off completely. Other than that, you know, that's the only pedal that I've ever had to worry about, you know, every once in a while. So anytime I plan on going somewhere to play, I just spray that, even if it's working. I just spray it again, just to make sure that, you know, while I'm doing a show or something, it's gonna work. So yeah, that's about it, and that's the reason why I have 2 Overdrive pedals on my board. And it's pretty simple, my board, really. It's got my tuner that also actually pushes a signal to my wah-wah pedal, and then from there to the flanger, from there to the TC Electronics Vibe Vicious, to my Demon FX Andy Timmons clone, up to the Caline Orange Burst, into my TC Electronics triple play, out to the amp. So, you know, the pedals that I feel, the companies that I think make the best pedals are the TC Electronics, because the circuitry is always quiet. They're compatible with other pedals, and when you have the gain on your amp, you don't hear it clicking on, which is great. And the Demon FX, to me, would be second to TC Electronics. And then the Caline would be third, only because the Caline, sometimes they are noisy. I had a couple of them, and they weren't compatible on my pedal board with other pedals. They were like loud, like if I guarantee you, like I said, like you heard it before, if I turn the knobs past 9 o'clock, you really start to hear it. And for that reason alone, you know, I would rate them number 3. By itself, it's great. Stacked with the amp, you just gotta watch, you know, you gotta turn the knobs until you start hearing it get loud, and then leave it, and then hopefully, you know, like that sound. And for me, I really wasn't sure. I was on the fence. I thought it was going back. Once I turned the knobs, where I started, you know, hearing that buzzing, and then I brought it back down, and then it was gone. And I played it stacked with my amp. I was like, oh, that sounds great. And then I can compare it to the other one, and I was happy with it. So that's why I made this video. Just you know, and I never stop. We are always chasing the tone. And so with that, it's like I have a you know, a 3 channels extra on my board compared to the amp. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. Let me see if I think this remote will work. So I go to Hank's to play again real quick, and there's only one guy that showed up to play, and an older couple, I'm gonna say 70s, late 70s, that came in. They're looking for the fun strumming, folk singing, you know, players, and they didn't get that with me. So I was giving it time. No one was showing up, and it was like 45 minutes past the hour that they started, and this couple showed up, and I said, well, I'm just gonna start going, you know. And I did a lot of songs because there was no one else there. I had my set list down to, I think, 4 or 5 songs that I timed myself to get them done within 18 minutes. You know, 18, 19 minutes, under 20. But because no one was there, and the other guy that came to play, he's also from New York, he didn't want to come up. I kept on asking him, do you want to come up? Do you want to start first? You know, and then when I was done, do you want to come up? No, and then I just kept on going with stuff. The couple, you know, I said to him, you know, this isn't your cup of tea, right? They go, no, but they couldn't say anything nice. Even if it's not something that you appreciate, you know, you enjoy, you should at least appreciate the talent. You know, I wanted to say, okay, well, here, what can you do? You know, that's the kind of attitude they were giving me. Then the dude from New York, and I just know that because the first time I played there, he said, oh, you sound like you're from New York. And I'm like, yeah, I am from New York. And that was really the extent of the conversation we've ever had. You would have thought we had a connection because we're both from New York. But, you know, he had a vibe about him that just wasn't welcoming to me for whatever reason. And maybe I had the same towards him. I don't know. But in any case, as I'm playing, and I started with one of them. I did, you know. He started trying to play it on an acoustic guitar, figure out how I'm doing it while I'm playing. Then when I was done, he's still trying to play it. So I just try to trying to hey, this is how you do it. And he would try it, and I would try it. And I was like, you know, look at me, but he didn't want to, you know, put his head up. Then, as I'm playing, he's still playing the guitar. As I'm doing Rockin' in the Free World, just a total instrumental, he's playing it on the acoustic guitar. Now, I don't know if the guitar was out of tune or he wasn't in the right place, but, you know, I'm trying to play, and I'm hearing like that instead of, you know, he's off, and he's loud, and he's messing me up. And I kept on looking up, and I'm trying to watch the guy Chaz behind the counter. I'm trying to look at the couple, you know, like to tell them, you know, and they're just reading a magazine. I couldn't care less. And when I got to my solo, I had to say to him, hey, can you stop playing? You're messing me up. He's like, oh, what? You know, and then I'm playing, and then as I'm continuing my set, because I had another song after that, I still see him like doing this on the guitar, but trying to mute it. But I still hear that muting sound. So what a total bag, you know what I mean? And that's what happens sometimes. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in there. I do have extra pickups, 2 more pickups coming for my Schecter Traditional. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have them put in over the weekend. I did finally find out how to set that guitar. I was going to bring it in and have the guy Jim at Guitar Center check it out. But I was like working on it, and I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to like say I couldn't do it. And I finally figured out how I could. I finally set it up, low action, the way I like it, and no buzzing. So stay tuned for the pickup exchange on that guitar. And then again, thanks for watching. Have a good day and better tomorrow.